who risked their lives to save others, showing all that America, although bloody, will never be beaten. Those who had destroyed me cannot win, for I am the symbol of freedom, of one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have been soiled, burned, and torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country, and when it is by those whom I've served with in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bounds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been silent witness to all America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I'm torn in strips to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle, when I fly a half-mast to honor my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the gravesite of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave, dear God. Long may I wave.
Flag detail. Forward, march.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great joy I present you Captain Tyrone Ward.
How's everybody doing? All right.
Hi.
I'm gonna just take this off for a second. Set that over there. So I thought I knew what I was gonna say before the ceremony started, and now I guess I'm gonna kind of wing it here. The first thing I want to do is thank God. Thank God, thank God. This has been one heck of a ride. I really want to thank just everybody standing on the deck of the USS Wisconsin. It's really overwhelming to see not the number of people here, but who is here. Most people who know me know how much people are important to me. The last 28 years or so, I've done a lot. I've traveled a lot. I've seen a lot. I've driven these, multi-billion-dollar ships halfway around the world. But at the end of the day, what I realized at the end of every tour is that it's really the people that I'll miss the most about that tour and nothing else. And I've served with some incredible people, and many of them are here today. In fact, I believe that every tour I've served on is represented here today, and I really appreciate you. I hope I get the chance to shake your hand and thank you for the integral part that each of you played in my life. There was no small role. If I interacted with you, you had an impact on me. And if I stayed in contact with you, then you really had an impact on me. And it speaks volumes to the folks who are here. A very good friend of mine, Nanao Kawasaki, has traveled from Japan for this ceremony. All right? And that's not to, downplay everybody else, because I got family and friends that came from California, Texas, and Florida, and the New England area. And I'm very appreciative of all of you that can make this trip. You've been so supportive to me and to my family over the years. And I just cannot thank you enough. I am eternally grateful. This ride means nothing without you. So now I'll thank you. All right, so now maybe I'll try to get to my script, and I'll try to get through this, but just so many thank yous, and I appreciate your patience because I know it's a little warm out here. So again, just folks who travel from a distance, thank you. And before I forget, want to thank the incredible job by the color guard and the side boys and the flag detail and the folks back here who are making it happen sort of behind the scenes. I don't want to leave everybody out, but everybody who was a participant or somehow helped to make this happen today, I appreciate you so much. You just can't understand how grateful I am. And I want to also say thank you to my sponsor, Commander Brian Link, standing in the back, and Lieutenant Nichols is sitting here, and Miss Sharon Shaw, who works our admin at Navi 4, very integral to making this happen. So please, if you would, give them a round of applause. I want to thank specifically Commander Perez, who came up from Georgia for this, just to do Old Glory. Thank you so much. Chief Richards, I'm not going to tell them what you're going to do, but thank you. They'll know it when you do it. Pastors Davis and Butcher have been a part of my life for more than 20 years from college days, and just thank you guys so much for being a part of this. And Commander Josh Sanders, who you've heard plenty of. Where did Josh go?
Right behind you. Kind of start
hey, Josh. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you. Josh just finished up a command tour, him and his wife Deb, in Bahrain. Did a great job out there. When I start to talk about the great hands that our Navy is in, I'm going to be talking about guys like Josh Sanders and guys like Andy Newsom, and they're too many to name. But our Navy is in great hands. And Admiral Perot. I knew he was going to bring the comedy, and I'm so appreciative of that. So thank you. And it's just wonderful to see somebody in your position that doesn't hold himself too high and is down with the sailors and making people laugh, even in times of trouble or just times of when the national anthem doesn't play. He's right beside me making me laugh, and I wouldn't have expected anything less. So how did I get here? Long story. I'm writing about it. Buy the book, please. Thank you. But I can't start that story without talking about my parents. Who both mean so much to me for reasons that you just wouldn't understand. And I just want to say thank you. And I want to thank my brother too. He's been right by my side the whole time. The only brother I got. And they've just been incredibly supportive. And I just can't say thank you enough to both of you and to Dad. Not too many people talk about what I'm going to talk about here. Some of you who know me really well know this word and what it means. But I also want to thank my village. There are people here today who have been with me from the beginning, from when I was a toddler, correcting me, disciplining me if it was needed, and I thank you so much for that. You just would not believe
especially what you see today in the world. The appreciativeness I have for you, people like Phyllis Sexton, people like Mama, and people who know who I'm talking about. People like Essie Ward, my aunt, and that spirit of community and raising children as a community. That's what you call the village. I am so appreciative for that, and thank you all for being here. So then off to college. We call it Liz. We call it Liz City, Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Vikings in the house. Let me hear you. All right. Oh man. If you don't know, you just don't know, and I'm sorry about that. But the small college, specifically what they call the HBCU experience, is phenomenal. And like I said, if you don't know, I can't make you comprehend that. But it's family. You get through it together, and I don't just mean your fellow students. I'm talking about the people who are there, people like Miss Kellogg, who's sitting right here in the yellow. I call her my college mother. That's what I call her, because she took care of me for 4 years when I was at Elizabeth City. Cindy knows about that. All right. Thanks. And so also Pedro. I don't know if Pedro's right here. Pedro wants to be seen. But Pedro ran the bookstore at Elizabeth City. All right. See, these are the relationships that we build at a small school like that. And people that you just look up to and that inspire you to keep going, regardless of the circumstances. So I appreciate all of you. So then on to the Navy career. And so here I am at Elizabeth City and Coast Guard Air Station down there. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And here's a picture you'll see, it's probably in the program actually, of me in a tie in the Coast Guard Air Station at Elizabeth City, taking the oath from a naval aviator who was my recruiter. And that's when it all started. Like I said, it's been a ride. There's been a lot of challenges, but oh my God, there's been a lot of good times too. And I will not forget that. But again, it's the people, all right? The sailors, Admiral Perot's up here saying a lot of great stuff about me, and I really appreciate that. Trying to, make you understand how the impact that I had on the country and stuff. But let me tell you, and I know it takes leadership, I get all that. But the people who are doing it are the sailors. They're the ones who are doing it. All right. Sometimes you're there to just guide them and give them advice and push them along and make sure they got all the requirements done and make sure their training continues, the learning continues. That's what you're there for, right? And they're the ones who make it happen. They're the reason, at least in the Navy, why I'm standing here as a captain. They are the reason. The chiefs, right? The backbone, right? And some of you are out there, the chiefs. I've had some incredible chiefs during my time. Incredible peers that I learned from as we were going through it together. And of course, incredible mentors. All right. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. It hasn't been all roses and daisies and all that kind of stuff. There have been some, leaders that, at least in my opinion, weren't that great. I've had those. All right. But you learn from them too. That's the thing, right? You learn from them too. All right. You can learn from anyone. All right. Whether it's good or bad. You get through those times. But incredible mentors I've had, not the least of which is sitting right here, Admiral Steve Perot. Like he said, we've known each other for a long time. I don't think he mentioned it, but he was my strike group commander. I'm sorry. Wow, just
you wish,
boosted you, right?
God, you know what you need to do.
I'm sorry. Right, that's exactly right. Maybe we need to make that happen. But he was, as a lieutenant commander, our sort of gold star tour, if you will, as a cryptologic officer, is the cryptologic resource coordinator that serves on board the aircraft carrier, in this case USS Eisenhower. And we deployed together. And he was my CRC, and I was one of his divos.
Awesome. In the Deo.
So yes, the mighty Deo. Guys like him and guys like Admiral Filipowski, too many to name. The bottom line is I've had some great mentors that helped me get here. I didn't just get here on my own. The 8 years ago, I guess it was, I got the incredible opportunity to command, which in the Navy, I know I got to my Army brethren out there and they command at the 03 level, but for the Navy, it really starts at the 05 and 06 level. That's when you really command. And to get that opportunity is just incredible. And I hope that some of you young sailors here will get that opportunity. I will tell you that as a young officer,